Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Here is another time lapse of a bike ride that my dad and I did together today. He bought himself a nice used road bike last weekend, and he bought my mom a new e-bike. So they came down to Springdale to ride the Greenway this weekend. Today, my dad rode his bike and I rode my mom's e-bike, and I hooked up my GoPro to my dad's handlebars. We rode the Greenway along the west side of Lake Fayetteville Trail and onwards to the Mud Creek Trail and looped back around the rest of Lake Fayetteville for a nice 11-mile ride on this beautiful Memorial Day. But let me tell you, I could not have done this on my old red bike. I get really tired at about 6 miles on my standard hybrid bike. I can't wait until I have enough money saved so I can buy my own e-bike. The ride today was so beautiful. There were a lot of other bikers and walkers out today, which makes me happy. We're all spending a beautiful Memorial Day outside. And we passed lots of creeks and bridges and rode under some beautiful trees. These guys were funny. We caught up to them again later. This is also right where we turned off the Lake Fayetteville loop that I had done a couple times, and where we continued with the Razorback Greenway. I hadn't been this way yet, so I wasn't sure what to expect. We went behind Locomotion, which was such a blur in this time lapse, but here I believe at this point we're already in Johnson, Arkansas. Nope, I lied. This bridge is where Johnson starts. The Johnson part of the Greenway is, I think it's just a 1 mile piece of the trail. And then pretty quickly we jump back into Fayetteville. There were several underpasses on our ride. I loved them because each one had a beautiful little creek running right next to the trail. That area was so beautiful. And now we're back in Fayetteville. Oh, and this was our offshoot. So we left the main section of the Razorback Greenway at this point onto an offshoot called Mud Creek Trail. Mud Creek takes us back into like the shopping area of northern Fayetteville and connects us back to the Lake Fayetteville Trail. There were so many windy corkscrews on this part of the trail. This part was a little spooky. I didn't like being on the road, but it ended up working out. And coming up right here, we passed a trail closed sign, which was sad because that's what actually takes you to Mud Creek, what the trail was named after. And so we had to bike up this incredibly steep and long hill to take us back to Lake Fayetteville. I was like a champ with the e-bike, and my dad was like a champ because he didn't have an e-bike. And this part of the trail is so peaceful too. There were definitely some tough hills, so I'm thankful for the pedal assist that I got to use today. But the last part of this Lake Fayetteville trail, like once you hit the botanical gardens, it's almost entirely hill and not fun. The other time that I rode this trail just on my old red bike, I think I stopped like 5 times just to drink water and catch my breath. It's super tough. But here we're still in the peaceful part of the trail. This part is just such a pleasure to be able to ride. And it gets uphill again, and we're getting pretty close to the botanical gardens. And here they are, all those cars. That one red car that was in the way, that's the one part of this trail that was definitely cyclists, you need to yield to traffic, which can be tricky. And this is one of the first big, tough, difficult hills of this last stretch of the trail. There's me whizzing past my dad. Played leapfrog for just a little bit on this last section. And once again, my dad was such a champ for doing these hills as fast as I was without an e-bike. I was using a level 2 assist, and I was having a good old time. He was having much, much more of a workout. And here we are back at where we started at Lake Fayetteville. This is a terrible, awful hill, the last one of that last stretch. Here we crossed on Tyson and head back into the neighborhood. Thanks for riding with me today, Dad.